कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पतां शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। ॐ हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः त्रयं सुष्ठुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। कराग्रे वसते लक्ष्मी करमध्ये सरस्वती करमूले तु गोविन्द प्रभाते करदर्शनम्। समुद्रवसने देवी पर्वतस्थानमण्डले विष्णुपत्नी नमस्तुभ्यं पादस्पर्शं क्षमस्व मे। बोलिए धरती माता की जय। Make sure you do धरती प्रणाम. We begin now with Ganesh Ji bhajan.
सब देवों के इष्ट देव है गौरी पुत्र गणेशा। सबकी विपदा दूर करे और खाते सब ही कलेशा। आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
आओ प्रभु मेरी आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया।
गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया।
सुख करता दुख हरता मेरा गणपति बप्पा मोरया।
आओ प्रभु मेरी आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
जय
जयकार हुई जग अंदर। हर घर में है तेरा मंदिर। प्रेम की ज्योति जलाने वाले मेरे मन की ज्योति जलाओ। आओ प्रभु मेरी आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ। आओ प्रभु मेरी आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया।
गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया।
सारे जग के तुम हो स्वामी।
गणपति बाबा अंतर्यामी। सबके बिगड़ी बनाने वाले मेरे बिगड़ी बनाओ। आओ प्रभु मेरी आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ। आओ प्रभु मेरी आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
गणपति बप्पा मोरया
गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया। बल बुद्धि सब तेरी दया से। रिद्धि सिद्धि नवन निधि तेरी दया से। सबको पार लगाने वाले मेरे नैया पार लगाओ। आओ प्रभु मेरी आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ। आओ प्रभु मेरी आओ मंगल मूर्ति आओ।
गणपति बाबा मोरया गणपति बाबा मोरया।
Ganapati Bappa Moria, Ganapati Bappa Moria.
Moria, 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 Moria, Siddhivinayak Moria.
Moria, Moria, Siddhivinayak Moria.
Moria, Moria, Ashtavinayak Moria.
Moria, Moria, Ashtavinayak Moria.
Moria, Moria, Mangalamurti Moria.
Moria, Moria, Mangalamurti Moria.
Moria, Moria, Ganapati Bappa 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 Moria.
बोलिए गजानन स्वामी की
की जय।
जय। Namaskar everyone and welcome to the Hindu Prachaar Kendra's Sunday morning satsang, live as usual here at our Sri Ram Vijay Mandir, located at Jalibia Trace, Raghunanan Road in Enterprise Central, Trinidad. It is always a delight to have you all join us for satsang virtually and in person. And I want to remind you to please go ahead and share our satsang links if you have not done so as yet. We want to get as many persons involved in satsang, so please encourage your family and friends to join us and keep on sharing our links. So Shravan, the Mass, has just ended and I was so happy yesterday. Someone said, Geeta ji, I learned so much about the month of Shravan this year, not just from our satsang, but from other programs and activities that have been going on. And it's been quite a busy time. Raksha Bandhan, which was when? Last Thursday. It brought a close to this very auspicious month, and we hope it was a very empowering time and an empowering experience for you. So our focus today will be Raksha Bandhan. And you know, we have been conditioned to think that the Raksha Bandhan is just about the bond between brother and sister, between siblings and so on, but it's a lot more than just that. So we'll explore its other dimensions, and I hope it will bring a deeper appreciation and understanding of this very special occasion. Now, we do have 2 more very special days, special occasions coming up this week. The calendar is just keeping us very occupied, very busy in very empowering ways. So the first occasion is not in our panchang, in our Hindu calendar, but it is very significant for our Sanatana civilization. I know some of you might have been receiving and seeing social media posts and ads. We have also been sharing forwards as well on Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsava, to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of independence of the great land of our ancestors, what we could call our grandmotherland, Bharat Desh, because our motherland is where? Right here, our own nation. So that's like the Aji, the Nani. So the many initiatives of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsava are highlighting the Desh Bhakti of the many warriors and the entire freedom struggle, and it's celebrating the energy of independence as well as all of those who are continuing to lift and build the nation that is Bharat. And many unsung heroes of the past and also of the present across various fields are also being celebrated. So tomorrow is the actual day of independence. It will be the 76th year. And we, as the descendants of Jahajis who came from that sacred land, we are proud and happy to see her progress. And the Hindu Prachaar Kendra joined with so many others in rejoicing with the great homeland of our Jahaji Pitris and our Puran Pitris as well. How blessed we are, and I hope we realize this, that we are very blessed to be linked to Bharat through our ancestry, because what is civilization she has nurtured to cradle all of us. So I wanted to share this. Please be aware of it, and tomorrow I'm sure you'll be able to see and view lots of events and activities happening across there to mark this grand occasion. The second event this week, so tomorrow Monday, India Independence, and on Thursday coming, what's the special day in our Hindu Panchang? Shri Krishna Janamashtami. And at the end of Satsang, I'll share the details of our Satsang that we will have that night to welcome Shri Krishna Avatar. So to get us in the bhav for Thursday, all our bhajans will be in praise of Bhagwan Krishna this morning. And this is also well in keeping with one of the very popular Raksha Bandhan kathas, which is linked to Bhagwan Krishna. So we'll see that after the bhajans. We are starting very soothing, devotional bhajan, very beautiful. Vishalaji is leading us as we praise the many names and the very charming features of Bhagwan Krishna. Who is Bhagwan Krishna? The beloved of Radha, the Lord of Bhakt Meera, the one who is the supporter of Vrindavan, who has lotus eyes, Neeraja. Neera means water, Ja means the born, so that beautiful flower born in the water, so the lotus eyes. We praise that one who is the player, who gives the gift of divine music and energy through the Basuri, and the one who is the Gita Acharya, the teacher of Bhagavad Gita. So we join with Vishalaji.
Krishna Hare, Shama Hare, Krishna Hare, Shama Hare, Krishna Hare, Shama Hare, Krishna Hare, Shama Hare, Radha Govinda Hare, Meera Gopal Hare. Ma
Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. So absolutely beautiful. We move on to the next bhajan. The Kaliyaji is leading us, and again we are chanting the Jaikar, the victory to Bhagwan Krishna, whom we praise by many different names. What are some of the names for Bhagwan Krishna? The common ones, the popular ones, well-loved ones. Govinda, yes, Mohan, Shyam, Nandalal, Gopal, Giridhari, Govardhan, all of these. This bhajan is like the entire kathas, all the kathas of Bhagwan Sri Krishna being told. And we are saying to Bhagwan, you preside over the entire creation. And today, everyone, we are all singing your praises, O Bhagwan. Whether one is a king or one is a beggar, you see no difference, for you are the protector. You are Bhagwan of all the creation. Jai Govinda Gopala. Please join, sing along with us. Lyrics are there for you to follow.
जय गोविंद गोपाला मनमोहन श्याम कन्हैया मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला
जय गोविंद गोपाला मनमोहन श्याम कन्हैया मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला
जगपालक दुरासर छया गोवर्धन गिरधारी कितने नाम तेरे नटवर तो सावल कृष्ण मुरारी
जगपालक दुरासर छया गोवर्धन गिरधारी कितने नाम तेरे नटवर सावल कृष्ण मुरारी
मोर मुकुट मन हर ले वट बलिहारी हर बिज बाला
मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला जय गोविंदा गोपाला मनमोहन श्याम कन्हैया मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला
तू ही सागर में रमता तू ही धरती पाताल गगन में नग में और जगत में तेरी जय जयकार
तू ही सागर में रमता तू ही धरती पाता जल में नभ में और जगत में तेरी जय जयकार
मेरे मन मंदिर में स्वामी तुझसे ही उजियाला
मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला जय गोविंदा गोपाला मनमोहन श्याम कन्हैया मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला
जिसका कोई नहीं इस जग में उसका मीत कन्हैया बंसी बजैया रास रचैया हाली नाग नचैया
जिसका कोई नहीं इस जग में उसका मीत कन्हैया बंसी बजैया रास रचैया काली नाग नचैया
राजा हो या दीन भिखारी सबका सूरत वाला
मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला जय गोविंदा गोपाला मनमोहन श्याम कन्हैया मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला
बोलिए श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय. Jai Sri Krishna. So if you want to quench your thirst, what do you do to quench your thirst? Wow, so many bright persons. Yes, you drink water. All right, water to quench the thirst. But the next bhajan, it is saying, if you want to quench your thirst for so many things we need in life, then not just in the morning or not just in the evening, but subah and sham, morning and evening, so all the time, constantly, as much as possible, chant the name of Bhagwan, chant the name of Sri Krishna. The name is very purifying. It evokes and it radiates love. So give up worldly wandering and shatter this ego. So it reminds us that the ego is what? It's to be shattered, okay? And how can we do this? What helps us is worshipping and chanting the name of Bhagwan. The bhajan says, he who has not contemplated on Bhagwan Krishna and all that he has taught us, all his teachings, will not lead a fulfilling, happy life. So for your enlightenment, worship Bhagwan Krishna. It's reminding us all forms of worldly happiness, it will be short-lived. So don't spend all your time roaming from door to door, searching and seeking. Remember the importance of seeking and searching for Bhagwan. We join with Siro, Jo tumi tana chahe, Jivan ki trishna. How do we quench the thirst of life?
जो तुम्हें ताना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा जो तुम्हें ताना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा सुबह शाम बोल बंदी कृष्णा 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा 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 जो तुम्हें ताना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा जो तुम्हें ताना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा 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 शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा 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 जिसको मिले ना पीना सुख का हरण का जाए जो ना कृष्णा कृष्णा नित्य का धर्म क्या माने
Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So this whole week it's about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And my whole life is also about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. My Patidev, his name is Krishna. And this is actually one of his favorite bhajans. He's always singing this. So as I mentioned previously, there are many traditions and kathas associated with Raksha Bandhan, and we didn't get to look at all of them before last Thursday came around because we had the Sundarkan Parayan and so many other things happening. But I thought since this was just 3 days ago, we can still share some very important reflections. And also tomorrow is about a special connection we have as well to Bharat Desh. So the main practice nowadays, it is for the brother and the sister to engage in that special Rakhi or Raksha tying ceremony. It's done also amongst friends, cousins, and you have the tying of the Rakhi, you engage in eating mithai, the sweets, there might be gift giving. I was actually finding out about Aarti. And I realized many persons no longer actually do the arti, they just tie the raksha without all of these ceremonies. And we have the giving of the commitment by the brother to love and care and to protect the sister. It's a very beautiful tradition. And it's very important to have such bonds amongst siblings and amongst friends, cousins, families, because it enriches life and it makes life more beautiful and harmonious. And this relationship, it must never be trivialized in any way, because we must be grateful that through Raksha Bandhan we have this space, this occasion to renew these bonds every year. But there is a lot more to consider, because Raksha Bandhan, it is very multi-layered. It is multi-dimensional, like so many of our calendar events. So through many of the other traditions and kathas, it is supposed to nurture in all of us an attitude, a humanity that is a crucial need for our world today. Now, I want you to also be conscious that the way we are celebrating Raksha Bandhan now, it has been mostly or largely influenced by what we have seen in the movies, in the Hindi, and a lot of our ceremonies, we have to be very conscious and very vigilant that we are patterning it after what we are seeing in the Hindi movies. So we have to be very careful about this. So Raksha Bandhan, it is not about one relationship. It is about how many relationships? Every relationship. This is the beauty of it. It's not about one relationship. It's about all relationships. It's about our relationship with our own self, our own selves, with our loved ones, yes, with our community, with our nation, with our whole civilization, and with the entire world. It is an all-inclusive and expansive occasion. Now, because we have a few viewers who are non-Hindu viewers, let me do this very quickly. So I'm using what is the traditional Raksha. It is the thread. It's like an amulet, a charm, okay? So this is the thread. And Bandhan means tying. It is when we tie it, we knot it, we fasten it to bond with someone we love, someone we cherish, whom we respect. A Raksha, it is not a fashion accessory. A Raksha is not a fashion accessory. It is tied with mantra. In a context, it is done with sankalp and very deep sentiment. And if this is not engaged, and if this doesn't happen, then we are wearing a wristband. That's all that we are wearing. So let's see a couple of these kathas. The first two actually give that bhai-bahin connection. So I'll share it very quickly. One of the most popular ones It is with Bhagwan Sri Krishna and Draupadi. In the Mahabharata, we read about this katha where Bhagwan Krishna had slain Raja Shishupal. There was a great battle, and his finger was injured and it was bleeding. And you know, when you're a warrior, sometimes these minor injuries, you're not too bothered by it. But seeing this injury and the blood coming from his finger, without hesitation, Draupadi tore a piece of her sari from the pallu, a strip of the sari, and she tied it around the finger of Bhagwan Krishna to contain that bleeding. And Bhagwan cherished her concern and affection, and he felt deeply moved by it and very bound by her sisterly love and compassion for him. So out of gratitude, and in that intense moment, he pledged to repay this debt someday. And many years later, when the Pandavas had gambled her away, and the Kauravas were trying to disrobe her, she reached out in earnest prayer to Bhagwan Krishna. And he responded by engaging his divine powers to protect Draupadi's dignity, because the end of that sari could not be found. Now, this is not just a katha about a brother and a sister, about Bhagwan Krishna and about Draupadi. It's a whole social commentary on when there is injustice being done to any person, how we should respond. And at a different level, it is also about bhakta and Bhagwan. Okay? So I wanted to share that. Now, in the Bhavishya Puran, Raja Bali and Devi Lakshmi, there are many different versions of this katha as well. So Raja Bali was the grandson of someone we all know very well in the katha of Bhagwa, holy katha. He was the grandson of Prahalad. Raja Bali was the grandson of Prahalad. And he had become and was becoming a very powerful, more and more powerful king, and he had defeated Indradev as well. So to save the world, and we are familiar with these types of kathas, to save the world, Bhagwan Vishnu took the Vaman avatar, the fifth incarnation, and he came to Raja Bali. Bhiksham Dehi, we all know this from Ram Leela and from some of our stotras. Bhiksham Dehi, begging for bhiksha, for alms. And Raja Bali, who is the all-powerful king, he said he will give to Vaman, the dwarf avatar, anything, whatever he asks for. He is Maharaj Bali after all, no one like him in the entire world at that time. So Vaman avatar asked for Tripada Bhumi as the bhiksha, land which would cover 3 steps. 3 steps of land. And Raja Bali thought, what? So easy? He readily agreed, because a dwarf, only small steps, champ, he will take. How far will he be able to step? Vaman avatar then took the Vishal Roop, gigantic form. 1 step covered Svargalok. The next step covered Dharti, all of the earth. Where now to take the 3rd step? Let's see, this is Raja Bali. But in order to keep his promise, he had given his word. He will give the bhiksha. He said, well, the only place left is Sirpar. You can take the 3rd step on top of my head. And Vaman avatar did this, and straight to Patal Lok went Maharaj Bali, to the netherworld. But Bhagwan Vishnu was very happy at Raja Bali's response, that willingness to sacrifice, to give, that sense of self-sacrifice, to honor his word. So Raksha Bandhan, it's, yes, the brothers give their word, but it's a bigger sense of the word. So, see this interesting thing. Raja Bali asked Bhagwan Vishnu to stay for some time there in Patal Lok. And to honor Raja Bali's self-sacrifice and his commitment to his word, Bhagwan Vishnu agreed. Now when he failed to return to Vaikuntha, Devi Lakshmi became very worried. You know, this is like a katha for our times when our loved ones venture out, what? Those who are at home, we become very worried. You know, the parents become worried, the husband and wife, we want to make sure our loved ones return safely home. So Mahalakshmi, of course, was concerned why Bhagwan Vishnu had not returned. So she learned of what had happened and she journeyed to Patal Lok. Now when she arrived there, it was on Shravan Purnima. What happens on Shravan Purnima? When was Shravan Purnima? What does Purnima mean? The full moon. Raksha Bandhan day. Last Thursday, you would have seen the moon, how beautiful it was, although it was cloudy, and even last night, the moonrise was very beautiful. So she arrived there, and Raksha Bandhan, the ceremonies were going on everywhere. So she accepted it's a strategy, very clever, accepted Raja Bali as her brother, because they engaged in the tying of the Raksha. And when Raja Bali asked her to make her wish, what was her wish, Neetu? I want to take Bhagwan back to Vaikuntha Lok. Now see this, why did she? So she asked that Bhagwan Vishnu should accompany me and return to Vaikuntha Lok, because the world should not be left unattended. He is the sustainer, the supporting energy of the world. So the world should not be left as though it is not cared for. Now Raja Bali, of course, had not thought of this. Bhagwan also, to please the devotee at that time. So because Raja Bali was so moved by her love and concern for the world and Bhagwan Vishnu's goodwill and affection for himself and his family, he gave them permission to both return to Vaikuntha. And this gave birth also to that custom where the sister goes to the brother for the tie-in of the Raksha on Shravan Purnima. So it is Raja Bali's deep devotion and sacrifice to Bhagwan Vishnu and the Devi Lakshmi's tying the Raksha for him that is immortalized in the mantra we continue to use when we are tying Raksha. This is why I said in the beginning, mantra, the ceremony, understanding what is being done. Yena badho bali raja danavendro mahabalaha tena tvam nanubadnami rakshe machala machala. What does it say? From that katha that I'm just narrated, I tie you with the same Raksha which was tied to the powerful Danava King Bali. O Raksha. So we speak to the Raksha. O Raksha, don't ever fail to protect the one who is wearing it. Don't ever fail to protect this devotee. And it isn't said once, twice. Machala, machala, don't fail, don't fail. So apart from the obvious brother and sister connection, in this katha, the katha is anchored in concern for the world. Loka Kalyan. The creation should not be left unattended, unsupported and suffering. And we see Devi Lakshmi's concern also wasn't for herself, but for the entire creation. So Raksha Bandhan, it challenges us to expand our vision and understanding so that our brotherhood and our sisterhood, it embraces everyone and everything, not just those limited to our filial circles and those in our immediate care. I was thinking it's like planting a garden. These days we're trying to sort out things in the garden. Maybe, let's say a flower garden. Why not? A flower garden. So you plant all the seeds are there in the soil, right? And you want the whole garden to be what? Bountiful and beautiful. But every day, Nile, we go and we only water one plant. We water one seed, and we stand and we're wondering, but what happened to the rest of the garden? So we have to what? Nurture every plant. So this is the idea where we expand and we extend ourselves to support others. We start with our near and dear ones, yes, but we must evolve to a higher level of consciousness and a broadened vision. This is why we often hear Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or civilization teaches us about world, family. In the Hitopadesha, Ayam Nija Padoveti, Ganana Laguchetasam, Udara Charitanam tu, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Those who, if you are selfish and you are narrow-minded, you will not be able to what? See and appreciate world, family. But people who are what? Generous and bountiful, who are spiritual, who are dharmic, for them the entire world is their family. This is why we close all our satsangs with what? At the end of satsang, Siyaram Mai Sab Jagajani. See, I mentioned about Bharat Desh in the beginning. Tomorrow is the independence anniversary. And when we are talking about brotherhood and friendship, I thought I will just cite this because we are now coming out of the COVID pandemic. And do you all know what is vaccine Maitri? How many of you here, those of you who are here, tell me if you know what is vaccine Maitri. Put up your hand. Okay, so there's only 2 persons in this congregation here who knows what vaccine Maitri was about or is about. And this is why I'm saying we have to read and pursue and learn about our civilization and what it continues to nurture, whether we are here in a diaspora or whether in the country of our ancestors. Vaccine Maitri, when you are suffering, a nation is suffering, but Bharat, India would have given millions and millions and millions of vaccines to across the world, to so many countries. Yes, someone is telling me to make sure and say free. When I say give, I don't mean they gave and charge for it. Free. This is the kind of thinking. And this is why that land is so worthy of celebration. It's not just about our link to it, but about what it continues to do for the people of the world. I'm not talking about 1 million, millions and millions and millions across the world. This is what real brotherhood, real sisterhood is about. And this idea, this universal connectivity, it is inherent in something that we engage in fairly often. I'll close off with this morning. We all participate in, or we host for ourselves, or we may go when someone invites us to puja. Correct? Puja. And we go so with love, faithfully we will engage in it and do it and participate as we should. But often we miss the very important lessons and connections puja presents to us. Right? So we start with the immediate to reach and to experience the ultimate. Raviji has always spoken about this. And when, see like this table here, it's almost like the size of a Vedi. We touch this Vedi and we say, Iyam Vedi Parvantaha Prithivyaha Ayam Yajno Bhuvanasya Nabhi ayam yajno bhuvanasya nabhi. A reminder, where is the Vedi? Where is your place of worship? Only this? For the puja, yes, we are worshipping here, but we remind ourselves of Vedi, our place of worship, what? It extends to wherever, infinite, boundless, all right? And you think of this according to who is the Pandit or Pandita guiding you. Those of you who are here, tell me how many times or when do you tie the Raksha? And to what? In puja, come on. We tie to the Kalsa, Kalash, representing the whole cosmos. Right? Yeah, somebody said the banana plant, tulsi plant, all the Devis and Devatas. So this tying, this connecting, this offering, it's to everything. And when you go outside, what do you go outside when you are having puja? What do you go outside to do? Install the jhandi, the dvaj. But what do we do? Tying, right? And as if that is not enough, when everything is finished, someone was bringing all their little children. I had a lineup of 4 or 5 little children in a puja for tying Raksha. So this tying, it is there in and through the entire puja, all the time, and at the end of it. So Kalsa, see the Kalsa, and in a general way I'm speaking, it represents the whole creation, Pancha Tattva, the space, Akash, Vayu, air, Agni, fire, Jal, water, and Prithvi, earth. So through puja we transcend human connections and bonds to all the elements. A delicate thread is the link. It never was fancy, very simple. And at the center of this tying is an expression of readiness, commitment. The thread is fragile. That's why we say, don't ever fail, don't ever fail. So we have to tend to our relationships and to our commitment with a lot of care. Now, what do we use thread for also? The Kalyaji said to sew clothes, to stitch, to fix, to what? Mend, to bring things together. The surgeons, long ago, when you get a cut, mommy and daddy rushing you to the health center to get what? Stitches, thread, the sutras. Sutya and sutra, same. So, to heal wounds, to bring things together, to join, to connect. You just observe around you and you will see how it's as though we are surrounded by Raksha Bandhan all the time. It's going on all the time. And we live in a wounded world when you look around and you see. So this Vishwa Bandhutva. Vishwa means the world. Bandhutva is the friendship, to see the world. So many beautiful mantras are there. So Vishwa Bandhutva, being the friend of the world, to see the world and to see everything in a friendly way. It is the pulse of Raksha Bandhan. The pulse of Raksha Bandhan. It is about love and friendship that embraces all. So concern for the other, not just the brother or the sister, concern for the other. Concern for the other, it is the spirit of Raksha Bandhan. And not just Raksha Bandhan, as I said, it is the concern. This concern is the hallmark of our Sanatana Dharma civilization. So there's so much to share. There are 2-3 other points I wanted to make, but we will close off here for now because our technicians have to leave promptly today. So I hope you will pursue and read more and learn more. You know, Raksha Bandhan, it's also the day of Vedopakarma, or what is called Upakarma, where there is the initiation into Shastric study, into study of Dharma. And those who already have the Yagyopavit, the Janeu, on that day they change it, so there's renewal of the commitment to Dharma and to Shastric study. So let us commit to pursuing knowledge in the very best of ways. So our tradition, Raksha Bandhan, it is about what? Me and the other. It's about me and this entire world, entire creation, and how everything is interconnected. Boliye Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai, Jai Sri Krishna. So before we have Aarti, I want to ask our dear Naila ji to come this morning for making an offering before the Shivalingam. This is a tradition we have always had at the Hindu Prachaar Kendra for many, many years. Whenever we want to pray for someone who is ailing, someone who has passed, we do the community offering. And our dear Nailaji would have lost her husband, Vishnu Maharaj. On Tuesday, it will be exactly 1 year. And whenever we lose a loved one, it's very, very difficult. This family is very special to us. They gave us our start here at Hindu Prachaar Kendra. Vishnu Maharaj was our first major benefactor. So we join, I ask you all to join as we ask the grace and the blessing of Bhagwan Shiva for Atma Shanti, for Sadgati, for that soul that has transited and moved on, and may the family be able to cope and understand and adjust and manage with all their grief and this great sense of loss. So we join together to pray with Nailaji for her and her family, and we also pray for anyone who might be ailing, facing difficulty at this time. We also have Sandra Bridgelal, who is recuperating. So many persons near and dear to us, we pray for them, and for those who have departed as well, we pray Atma Shanti. We join together, Panchakshara Stotra Mantra. Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shudhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya Mandakini Salila Chandana Charchitaya Nandishwara Brahmathanatha Maheshwaraya Mandara Pushpa Bahu Pushpa Supujitaya Tasmai Makaraya Namah Shivaya Shivaya Gauri Varanabja Vrinda Suryaya Dakshad Varanashakaya Srinilakantaya Vrishadvajaya Tasmai Shikaraya Namah Shivaya Vashishta Kumbhoda Bhavagautamanya Munindra Devara Chitashekaraya Chandrarka Vaishvanara Lochanaya Tasmai Vakaraya Namah Shivaya Yagya Swarupaya Jatadharaya Pinaka Hastaya Sanatanaya Devyaya Devaya Digambaraya Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya Om Panchakshara Punyam Yaha Pathe Shiva Sannidhau Shivalokam Shivena Sahamodate Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Bole Umapati Mahadev Ki Jai Har Har Mahadev. Please stand for Aarti and to keep us in the bhav and the mood for getting ready for Sri Krishna Avatar, Sri Krishna Janamashtami on Thursday. For the Aarti offering, we'll do one chant in praise of Bhagwan Krishna, very vibrant and powerful. So everyone join.
Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Jai Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे राधे
राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे
गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे
राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे
गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे जय हो गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे
We join in closing mantras. We pray for everyone and everything. Om Durjano Sajano Bhuyat Sajana Shantimapnuyat Shanto Mocheta Bandhebhyo Muktashanyan Vimochayet Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahi Mahisha Go Brahmanebhya Shobhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Dhyau Shantir Antarikshagum Shanti Prithvi Shantir Apah Shantir Aushadhaya Shantir Vanaspataya Shantir Vishve Deva Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvagum Shanti Shantireva Shanti Sama Shantiredhi Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Jaga Pranam, remember the lessons we shared this morning.
सिया राम में सब जग जानी करऊ प्रणाम जोरी जुग पानी सिया राम में सब जग जानी
We chant the Jaikar. बोलिए गजानन स्वामी की, श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, उमापति महादेव की, जगदम्बे माता की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सियापति रामचंद्र की, गोस्वामी तुलसीदास की, ट्रिनिडाद और टबैगो देश की, भारत माता की, बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. Jai Jai Sitaram. Please take your seats, everyone. The main announcement, and I hope they'll be able to bring up our Sri Krishna Janamashtami flyer. This Thursday, traditionally, we will go until midnight because that's the time. But Desha Kal Paristiti Pravaha. We have to adjust according to our place, the time, the conditions. So we will not be having the Sri Krishna Janamashtami all the way until midnight. We want to, of course, when you go home, in the safety of your home, you can wait until the midnight hour, and in your own devasthan, you can have your personal worship. But our community worship will be from 6:30. We'll try to manage until 8 or 8:30 at the latest, and we will be chanting all our beautiful stotras, the bhajans, kirtan, very vibrant and powerful. Remember, it's always about keeping the bhav. We'll have our traditional charhawe, juling, the palana, Soharas de Kalyaji will sing for us. So you can bring your traditional offerings. Bring fruits, not too much of sweets. You can bring fruits for charhawing. The numbers are there on the flyer. We'll also be posting so you can get information on what's required. Flowers and tulsi leaves and all of those traditional items you should bring along. We will not be going live. So you have to come in person to join with us for the community celebration. It's not always possible for us to have all of the sessions live. We try to manage as best as we can, but all of our young people, they are working, they are studying, they are also supporting other events, so it's not going to always be possible to do everything live. So the Sri Krishna Janamashtami on Thursday, we will not be live, but we certainly hope we'll see a lot of you here joining us in the mandir as we welcome and celebrate Sri Krishna Avatar. And we will also just alert you to several special events that will be coming up for Pitri Paksh. We'll start posting about those, and next week's Satsang you will get all the details of our Pitri Paksh, here the ancestral agenda. Namaskar everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Have a safe, blessed and productive week, and we will see you all on Thursday, not Sunday, those of you who can join us. Namaskar.